Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. The Broncos are not as bad as their 3-7 record, and I'm not quite sure the Bills are as good as their 7-3 record. Perna. Basically, both teams are living a lie, just like the armored glass on the Tesla Cybertruck.
Oh my fucking God. Well, maybe that was a little too hard.
It's okay, Bills Mafia. I think Buffalo is a good team. Why? Well, just like the Ravens, an undisputed good team, you both inexplicably lost to the Browns this year, which I believe in 2019 is like being mouth-kissed by the football gods themselves. The Broncos, who are cursed, beat the Browns. Today, I will reveal why the Bills and Broncos are the exact same team, and it goes way beyond both having a young quarterback named Allen. Also, a quick recap from last night's Thursday night football game between the Texans and Colts, and plenty of the greatest fan in sports history, Bills guy.
No, it's the Bills! Buffalo all the way this time! 3 times! The 3rd time is a charm!
Hello again. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Today's episode is sponsored by Roman.com. Finally, a penis product on the show that references penises more than any other show on YouTube. Did you ever imagine that you could live in a world where going to GetRoman.com/ThatsGoodSports could help you with erection or ejaculation issues? The future is now, especially if you haven't been feeling like an MVP in the pants lately. Erectile dysfunction affects 52% of men over the age of 40 at some point. Even worse, 75% of those guys don't seek treatment. With Roman, you can get treatment from the privacy of your own home and connect with a doctor who can help you with problems in the pantaloons. Just go to GetRoman.com/ThatsGoodSports and complete an online visit. If the doctor decides treatment is appropriate, they can prescribe medication with free shipping that will be delivered to your door in discreet packaging for your discreet package problem. GetRoman.com/ThatsGoodSports and think of me next time you get a raging boner. Think of me. NFL good news, the Patriots are not considering bringing back Antonio Brown. Even though it was reported yesterday that they were considering the idea, all reports were false, just like Antonio Brown's belief that online apologies and reposting pics of him in Patriots gear or Eagles gear will get him his job back as a professional wide receiver. It's almost like NFL teams don't believe a guy who said fuck the NFL 2 weeks ago has actually matured overnight. Now, the Texans took sole possession of the AFC South with their 20-17 win over the Colts. Both teams look pretty solid, with the difference being Deshaun Watson. He is just a playmaker at the QB position. The Colts desperately need a playmaker in the receiving game, and I don't think Jacoby Brissett is healthy yet. You know what makes me think that? The fact that his leg looks like it was put together by a drunk Hermie the Misfit elf, which is bad because he sucked at making toys sober. Bandaged Brissett is still a much better option than Brian Hoyer. Jacoby Brissett may not be flashy, but the drop from him to Hoyer is steeper than the podium stage in New York. Oh, where'd he go? I'm sorry, that clip almost makes me forget how much I dislike Adam Gase. Former Broncos running back Jonathan Williams looked pretty good, accounting for 2/3 of Indy's offense last night. DeAndre Hopkins and Will Fuller were both a nightmare for the Indy secondary. 2 tugs for Hopkins and 140 yards on 7 receptions for Fuller. Will Fuller is exactly what the Colts need on offense, and I think his return for Houston is key to their playoff success. I thought the Texans' defense without J.J. Watt and addition of ex-Buck Vernon Hargraves would cost them the game, but they played sound defense. And nose tackle DJ Reader is a big man to keep your eye on if you like big man football. And I should have known the Texans would win this game as soon as their linebackers showed up looking like male strip club versions of Mortal Kombat characters. The perfect place for Troy Aikman to announce the performers.
And he sticks it in, he rides it, and he pulls it to pick up any free guy.
All right, Broncos-Bills. Buffalo will be awarded a half point for home field advantage. There's no group of tailgaters on earth I respect more than the Bills Mafia, as their stunts seem to get safer the better the team plays. And no group of victory songbirds I appreciate more.
Went to Miami and beat the Dolphins. Offense finally shined and scored some points.
The Bills!
The Bills have 7 wins, baby. Go Bills!
Bills fans should be into this game because with a win, Buffalo can take a full 2-game lead for the wild card spot in the AFC. Coaches versus coaches, and I dare anyone outside of Buffalo to pretend like you've heard Sean McDermott speak. Does the world know who offensive coordinator Brian Daboll is? Daboll? Yes, we do.
Maybe slip of the razor. Now, if you talk to my wife and daughter about it, they're not too happy about it.
But McDermott? Don't know the first thing about him other than he took the Bills to the playoffs 2 years ago, and he's probably going to do the same this year. McDermott has a winning record at 20-19 through nearly 3 seasons, and that's not even taking out the 4 games he deliberately started Nathan Peterman. Yes, at quarterback. Imagine if he never did that. It doesn't seem to matter though what Vic Fangio does. The Broncos offense refuses to score in the 4th quarter. Half point for the Bills. But beware, Buffalo, you have had the easiest schedule this season. The fewest amount of games against teams with a winning record. And even though the Broncos have a losing record, they are better than that record. Brandon Allen versus Josh Allen. It is the Allen Bowl, baby. Josh versus Brandon. Josh Allen has taken a big leap forward this season, upping his completion percentage by 7%, cutting down his interception percentage by nearly half, and adding a whole point to his touchdown percentage. He's gotten significantly better from year 1 to year 2, and it's a big reason the Bills are 7-3 and currently the 5th seed in the AFC going into Sunday. Also, again, their ridiculously easy schedule. But Brandon Allen has played well in his own right. He's going up against an elite defense on the road, but that's exactly what he did last week, and did a pretty damn good job. Good enough to win if his defense didn't forget how to play football in the second half. The thing I like about Brandon Allen is that he's pushing the ball down the field. 15 yards per completion, which is 3 yards higher than Josh Allen. Suck it, Josh. Brandon Allen isn't a precision passer like Josh Allen, but he gives his best players a chance to make a play. And that is a big reason Courtland Sutton and Noah Fant have looked as good as they have the last couple weeks. The difference in this matchup is mobility. Not that Brandon Allen isn't mobile, but Josh Allen is the second best rushing quarterback in the league right now behind Lamar Jackson. He doesn't have as many yards as last year, which is probably a good thing, but still more than half of his rushing yards come after contact. 171 of his 331 yards were gained after he was hit. Josh isn't going to slide. You need to take him down like he's fucking Jerome Bettis. That's my note to the defense. That said, I'm not sold. He's that much better than Brandon Allen. No points here for the Allens. Even if one was better, the Allens cancel each other out. I think everybody who understands football knows that. Broncos offense versus Bills defense. Denver has the 7th best run blocking line in the NFL according to Football Outsiders, but also the 28th worst pass blocking unit. Similarly, Buffalo's 2nd best run blocking, 19th in pass pro. The loss of fullback Andy Janovich is actually a big deal. The offense plays better when he's on the field. What I want to see, though, is more Royce Freeman in short yardage situations and fewer gimmick plays in crucial situations. Again, this is a mirror game. These teams are so similar, it's like the Jordan Peele movie Us, but with more terror along the way for Broncos fans. 2 of Buffalo's best defensive players are safeties, Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, just like Simmons and Jackson. They also have a shutdown corner in Tre'Davious White to mirror Denver shutdown corner Bryce Callahan. Oh, I'm sorry, Chris Harris Jr. The matchup the Broncos want to exploit, however, is corner Levi Wallace and whoever he's covering. I'd imagine White will be on Sutton, so maybe Tim Patrick can build off a great performance in his return last week. That's assuming Allen has time to throw the football with a very good front 7 pressuring him the way the Washington Redskin Potatoes pressure injured players to get back on the field. Say the name of any Bills defensive lineman, and that guy is pretty damn good. Rookie Ed Oliver, pretty damn good. Jerry Hughes, pretty damn good, and will fight a referee. Trent Murphy, PDG. It's why they have the number 3 stuff ranking of all D-lines. Now, I cannot in good faith give Denver the advantage here. The offense has the talent. They make a lot of the plays, just for whatever reason can't perform for 60 minutes. Advantage Buffalo. Special teams versus special teams. Now, one of the underrated reasons Denver collapsed in the second half against Minnesota was special teams failure. Colby Wadman punted 3 times for just 35 yards on average. Brandon McManus missed a field goal from 43. That if he hits, the Broncos don't need to go to the end zone on their final drive. Football Outsider says Denver is the worst punting team in the NFL and overall 31st in terms of special teams grades. I'll agree Wadman is bad and McManus not clutch right now, but they haven't turned the ball over this season on special teams and have had some nice returns by Deontay Spencer. So according to my ranking in my heart, they are slightly below average, but not the worst. The good news is that Buffalo's field goal unit is also struggling, and former Seahawks kicker Steven Hauschka has made just 11 of his 16 field goal attempts this season. I struggle to criticize any Bills kicker though, because kicking in Buffalo is like trying to golf in a hurricane. But they haven't had many bad weather games so far this season, so it's a wash. Then the Bills offense versus Broncos defense. The biggest difference between the Bills offense and the Broncos offense is that the Bills have scored more than 24 points this year. Not once, not twice, but like the band, thrice, and exactly 24 once. Denver hasn't scored more than 24 points in over a year. An X factor, a player I like for Buffalo, is rookie tight end Dawson Knowx. If he gets the targets, he can be a difference maker, and I just feel like he's going to be a guy Bills fans gravitate to for years. Like he could bring them Vance joy for years to come. Baby, coming down to the riptide, this cowboy is running from himself. 'Cause I got a lump in my throat and I think it might be fucking cancer. Another similar area between these two teams, receiving department. Buffalo does not have a Courtland Sutton type player on the roster, but Isaiah Mackenzie, former Bronco, is there and he's getting 2 to 3 receptions per game. If Isaiah Mackenzie scores a touchdown against the Broncos, it is adding severe insult to injury on a 2017 draft class that included Garrett Bowles, Carlos Henderson, Brendan Langley, and Chad Kelly. If the Broncos hadn't seemingly nailed the draft the 2 years since, we'd probably be looking at an 0-16 team this year at best. In the month of November, running back Devin Singletary has averaged 5 yards per carry for Buffalo. Frank Gore is still getting close to 10 carries per game, despite a 2.1 average this month. Denver shut down Dalvin Cook last weekend, 26 yards on 11 carries. They can do the same in Buffalo, even though I really like Devin Singletary. Denver has to try and make Josh Allen beat them through the air, which he could do with the speedy John Brown, who torched the Dolphins for 137 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's what Stephon Diggs did in the second half last week when Chris Harris forgot Diggs was a football player on the field playing football against him. Shelby Harris may have played his best game of his career against Minnesota. I think Shelby continues that streak, and I'm going to give the Broncos an advantage here, a solid advantage. Now, overall, Buffalo, yes, they have the point advantage, but that's a home field point and a coaching point. This game will probably be close and boring and very boring, but close. But I think the Broncos win. That's what my gut says, that they win. The offensive line injuries concern me, but Denver wins. I feel okay about it. If the Bills win, I do support joy coming to Bills guy's heart. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I'm on Twitter, Instagram, at Brandon Perna. If you want to follow my other social medias, they are really average. Also, at Wilkie6. He's on Twitter. Give him a follow. He helps me write these football prediction episodes. Couldn't do it without him, so give him some love.